There is no fundamental secret here. It's called hard work and sweat.
Greg Plitt was a professional skydiver, U.S. Army Ranger, entrepreneur, American fitness model, actor, and golfer, who was known for his impressive physique and inspirational messages. He appeared on more than 200 magazine covers and starred in movies such as Terminator Salvation and The Good Shepherd, alongside Matt Damon, Angelina Jolie, and Robert De Niro. As he enjoyed global success and was on top of his game, he tragically died in a train accident in 2015 while filming for a protein shake commercial. Was his death an accident, or was there something more sinister surrounding his death? Join us to find out. Greg Plitt was born on November 3, 1977, in Baltimore, Maryland. His mother, Janet O'Rourke Plitt, was an interior designer, and his father, George G. Plitt Sr., was a real estate agent. He went to Gilman High School in Baltimore, Maryland, where he was a star lacrosse player. From influences at a young age in high school wrestling to his older sisters commanding his respect by joining the Navy, there was only one way for Greg, and that was a continuous push for perfection and achievement. Greg first started his fitness career in high school as a wrestler, but later turned to his older sister for inspiration as she joined the U.S. Naval Academy. Greg said that seeing the transformations that took place within his sister by developing into a strong and respectable character under challenging academic, military, and athletic requirements inspired him to apply for the Naval Academy. With a 4.0 GPA from high school and a successful start in school wrestling, Greg looked no further than a career in the Navy to achieve something spectacular, much like his sister. After the long and tough selection process of the congressional appointment by the Naval Academy, Greg was approached by West Point, a U.S. military academy that saw his full potential. Not wanting to distance himself from his sister and family, Greg was advised to continue his path into a career with the U.S. Navy and avoid West Point, as it was too far from home. Choosing the Naval Academy over the military would allow him to feel the support and comfort of home only a stone's throw away. Questioning his motives, Greg decided not to go down the same path as his sister, stating, "I started to think that the only reason why I was ruling out West Point was the fact that I was scared to go there to be on my own." To be far away from home, Greg couldn't come to terms with the fact that making a decision not to go to West Point, purely on the grounds that he was freaked out, and to be away from comfort, forced him to make the choice and sign up for the U.S. Military Academy. Knowing that he would be pushed to his limits and his true grit tested, a decision was made that would change and shape his life forever into the world-famous Greg Plitt we know today. After graduating from the United States Military Academy at West Point in 2000, Greg Plitt served as an Army Ranger for 5 years. As a captain, he was a company commander responsible for 184 soldiers. Greg was also a professional skydiver who had completed more than 2,000 jumps and a certified scuba diver. He also enjoyed horseback riding and rock climbing. After finishing his service in the Army, Greg decided to move to New York to pursue a modeling career. His interest in modeling had been developed about a year and a half before he left the Army, when he once attended a convention of modeling agents in the lobby of the Marriott Hotel in Washington. At their urging, he traveled to New York, where professional photos led 2 months later to his appearing on the cover of Muscle and Fitness magazine. It was no wonder that he saw a future in modeling once he left the Army. He appeared in over 250 fitness magazine covers and was undisputedly America's #1 male fitness model. He broke records by appearing on a fitness magazine cover every month for an impressive 5 years. Men's Fitness magazine named Mr. Plitt one of the 25 fittest Americans, and in 2009 he won the Star Physique Award for the best male physique on TV. Iron Man magazine called him a cover model extraordinaire, while DNA magazine named him one of the 60 sexiest men alive, and the TV show Extra said he was one of America's most eligible bachelors. During this time, Greg met and fell in love with his girlfriend Katie Cleary at an event in Hollywood. She was an actress, and at one point she requested Greg to help her with her lines, and that's how Greg's acting career began. It didn't take long, because soon thereafter Greg moved to Los Angeles, where he auditioned for and was given the role of Henderson on the soap opera days of our lives. He would later land major roles and appear in shows and movies such as Terminator Salvation with Christian Bale, Grudge Match starring Sylvester Stallone, and The Watchmen, in which he portrayed the body of Dr. Manhattan, whose character was played by actor Billy Crudup. And in 2006, Greg played guard with Sullivan alongside Matt Damon, Angelina Jolie, and Robert De Niro in the movie The Good Shepherd. Greg and his girlfriend were both fitness models and actors who shared a passion for health and wellness. They dated for about 2 years before breaking up in 2009. In that same year, 2009, he launched his website, gregplitt.com, which quickly amassed a following of hundreds of thousands worldwide who were motivated by his humble yet straightforward intensity. He continually preached the value of sweat equity in hopes of achieving the goal of teaching others to cherish each moment and overcome challenges. This mindset and fitness had begun earlier on, when Greg was a teen. Plitt said he has been a fitness buff since his dad bought a home gym when Plitt was in 6th grade. He began embracing challenges and the adversity that life brought when he was 12 years old. Plitt also credited his military background and discipline for giving him the confidence and perseverance to chase his dreams. He said in an interview, "I think the military gave me the foundation to be able to do anything I wanted to do. It gave me the confidence to go out there and try new things. It gave me the work ethic to never give up. It gave me the courage to face my fears." He continued with his television career, and in 2013, he held his own show, Workout in the Zone. Overall, he appeared in more than 10 television and film roles before his death. The last minutes of Greg Plitt were both tragic and shocking. On January 17, 2015, at 4:10 p.m. on Saturday, Greg was filming an advertisement for a protein shake near Burbank Metrolink station in California to prove the effectiveness of the energy drink. The premise of the commercial was that the drink gave Plitt the energy to outrun a speeding train like Superman. He was wearing all black and had a camcorder in his hand. Greg wanted to push things to the limit and wanted his crew to get the best shot. They wanted to perform the stunt despite him and his crew not following due process and not having a permit to be on the commuter railroad's right-of-way from Metrolink officials. But filming on the railroads was not new to Greg. He had used the same stretch of Burbank track for filming other fitness videos that captured him lifting barbells and doing push-ups on the rails. In one segment, he performed box jumps as a Metrolink train passed behind him. With everything ready and his crew prepped to take the shots, Greg saw the train approaching from a distance. Just as they had planned shortly before the train reached Plitt, he assumed a runner's stance and bolted down the track. He began running in front of it in the same direction of travel as the cameramen were videotaping him. When the train was 10 seconds away, the conductor who was manning the train saw Greg on the tracks. He pulled the brakes and blew the horn, but for one reason or another, Plitt did not get off the tracks. It is alleged that Greg thought he was running on the adjacent track. When Greg realized he was on the same track as the train, he attempted to run out of its path, but it was already too late. He was clipped from behind by the front end of the train and died on the spot from multiple blunt force injuries. Investigators immediately seized the camera that the crew was using immediately after the accident. The footage was never released to the public. A bunch of empty Way-Up bottles, a pre-workout drink that contains protein and caffeine, were found near the spot. Plitt was a co-owner of Way-Up, a product of Shadow Beverages and Snack Company, and the representative said he had full creative control when it came to his video shoots. The company claimed they did not know Greg would be on the tracks prior to filming. An autopsy found that Plitt had insignificant amounts of methamphetamine and MDMA or ecstasy in his system, but not enough to be considered a contributing factor in his death. Plitt's death was ruled an accident. At the time of his death, Greg's estate was valued at $1 million, with no will, spouse, or children at the time of his death. By law, his estate went to his parents after all creditors were paid. Plitt's death was a shock to many people, and condolences and tributes poured into his Facebook and X pages. He was known for his dedication to fitness, his positive outlook on life, and his ability to inspire others. He was also a role model for many young people. Plitt's death is a reminder of the dangers of train tracks. It is important to be aware of the dangers and to take precautions when near train tracks.